live from Next Generation Studios. Welcome to our first podcast of 2025. This is your host, Tim Wright, on The Right Factor. Before we start our podcast today, I'd like to have everybody take a moment and think about the 63 people that passed away last night in D.C., and that we all keep them in our hearts, minds, and prayers. Our podcast today is about California wildfires. Is blood on their hands? Natural disasters are natural disasters. I sound a little like Kamila Harris in that statement, but how we work together to mitigate their impact is what politicians are paid to do. Protect the citizens. In California, they failed and continue to fail. Governor Newsom cut $4 million from a forest legacy program to help landowners with fires, $5 million from the California fuel reduction teams, $28 million from state conservancies that help increase wildfire resilience, and there is more. Governor Newsom rubber-stamped $105 million in cuts to California fire prevention, according to the National Review, Jim Garrity. Mayor Karen Bass slashed already undervalued LA Fire Department by $17.6 million last year. Millions of dollars in reserve equipment are sitting unused in LA as they do not have a budget for maintenance people to get them fixed. The LAFD has been saying for years they are short-staffed by 50% based on National Fire Protection Association standards. The Santa Ynez Reservoir, which holds 117 million gallons of water, was emptied in early 2024. This supplied water to homes, farms, and fire equipment. A rip occurred in the cover, and the issue was it could possibly contaminate the water. Rather than use that water for farms, irrigation, and the fire department, they emptied it into the ocean. And worse yet, they never told the fire department. It could have been stored to be able to fight fires during this high-risk season. Fire equipment from other states that came in to help California during this crisis had to stop in Oakland to be inspected before they could proceed to help fires. It's issues like this where I need to take a bourbon break. Continue. California Coastal Commission blocked the LADWP, who was working with a local electric power plant, from replacing wooden electric poles with fireproof steel poles. The electrical wires were supposed to be transformed into fire and wind-resistant wires, and they were going to clear the brush around the electrical station to mitigate fires. Not only did they block the permit to save the Broughton milkweed plant, they fined the LADWP $2 million for trampling on the brush. And the plant and the brush all burned to the ground in the fire. You just can't make this stuff up. An example of how to help citizens, Laguna Beach in 1993 suffered a fire that destroyed homes and businesses. Much like LA today, but on a much smaller scale. What they learned is you don't fight fires on the day it happens. You fight fires with diligence and constant prevention efforts. They developed a set of fire-resistant construction standards, and they developed native brush and adjacent standards. This affected the homes, businesses, and landscaping to make it more fire-resistant and greatly increase the amount of water stored at elevation where only gravity is required to pressure the hydrants. Who is responsible for the failure in LA? The mayor and the governor. UCLA scientists determined that climate change was responsible for 25% of the reasons for the fires. The other 75% is due to government incompetence. At least 25 people have died, billions of dollars in damages, homes and businesses lost, some forever. Maybe this will wake up Governor Newsom and LA Mayor Bass. If either one of these people ran a major corporation in the U.S. today, they'd either be fired or they'd be in jail. The California wildfires, with blood and destruction and death, is on whose hands? You decide. Thank you for listening to The Right Factor. You can contact me at therightfactor.com. I look forward to all your comments, both positive and negative. God bless you all, and hopefully we can save us from ourselves. Thank you.